plaintiff, Sylvia Ankra, says she and the defendant were good friends, and he would often confide in her about personal problems and his past relationships. Sylvia is suing her former friend for the cost of a flight and a class reunion ticket. Defendant Eugene James says he and Sylvia were in a full-blown intimate relationship, and after they started dating, she confessed that she was married. Eugene denies owing Sylvia for anything.
Start with you.
Okay, I first met Eugene by walking my dog in the neighborhood. We exchanged telephone numbers and we began to be friends.
I'm trying to visualize. I like to visualize stuff when I'm hearing testimony.
He was in the bushes. He came out.
I'm trying to figure out, how did that happen? You walking your dog?
I was walking.
Morning, afternoon, night?
It was maybe around 7 o'clock.
All right, you out at night walking
and I'm walking,
your dog.
it was still light, and I was walking my dog.
And he just
and
come
he
from
was
behind?
he was coming down to get his mail.
Coincidentally.
And so, right, as I'm walking, no. So while he was there, we started talking.
No,
and
but how? You had to stop. Somebody had to say something first. Who said, hey, that cute dog there.
I might have actually said something. I'm not sure who actually spoke first.
Oh, you've been walking that dog past that house for a while now. All right, I was just trying to see. That's mighty strange. You go for a dog walk, you end up with a man. So you tell me, how did it go once you all start talking and then I guess dating?
Okay, what we did is we began to be friends, and as we became friends, we had a very trusting relationship, and he would have me come to his home to have the repair people come, so he'd leave a key for me to come into his home. He would confide in me about his ex relationships, how his ex, he would live with her for 20 years, and then she put a knife out on him. And then the time before that, then the woman had her ex-boyfriend come to kick him out of the house.
He told you all
That's
that?
not true.
Yes, don't lie.
I'm not.
So he told me that. And then he has like anger issues, and I think it's caused from a lot of his background. He lost his daughter to a murder about 5 years ago. Every time he would get mad at somebody, then he would yell and scream at me. And so the last time he was asking me, I was coming from Walmart. So he said, well, what did you buy me? I said, some Viagra. And I thought it was kind of funny at the time,
That's the first I heard of that.
You're a liar. You just lie so much. I can't
first I
believe
heard
you're
of that.
lying.
Tell the
Stop
truth.
lying.
Go ahead.
You know what? You're a liar.
Go ahead.
And so after that, he got very mad. He hung up the phone on me, said, he didn't want to be bothered, so I waited a couple of hours. I called him back. He said, oh, you made me mad and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going on the trip with you. And that was how things started.
Let me hear from you.
Yes, sir. Like she said, I met her in April. I was going to my mailbox. She came up with her dog and she spoke to me. We started talking. And what she just stated, it became more than just a friendship. Mm-hmm. We started out after a few days, a few dates, we became a full-blown relationship. She used to come over my house days at a time, unannounced, staying, everything like that.
You like
Wait a minute, unannounced.
You lie too much.
Just
Want
showing
to bring
up.
her back and say, I'm here to stay for a few days. I hope you don't mind.
No, well, that was afterwards, but just coming to my house unannounced, meaning that you just show up when you got ready.
But not for the 3 or 4 days
No,
straight.
that was afterwards.
Okay.
When she'll come, she wouldn't want to leave. I had to the obsession became stronger. I had to actually tell her she had to leave so I can go to work.
Why do you lie
I had
so
to
much?
tell her to go to work. After I start whining and dining her, she would take me out around her, introduce me to her family and her friends, and we would go out. It was more than just a friendship. It was a full-blown relationship.
Mm-hmm. He's lying.
And all of a sudden, a few days later, she would come to me and tell me that she's married. Her husband was stuck in Africa. He's an African, and he had visa problems, and he couldn't come to the United States. So the single man that I am, I said, well, I kept dating her. I kept dating her. Like she said, she'd come over my house, we'd do things. Then the next day she hit me with a bombshell and said that she was going to church. She teach Bible studies or Sunday school. And I said, well, okay, if you still game, I'm game. I'm single. So we continued dating and everything. Then later on, a few weeks later, she come and hit me and tell me, I don't want this relationship no more. I'm going against everything I believe in and my religions and everything. I have to end this relationship and it's over with.
All right. And tell me how he owes you for a flight and a class reunion ticket.
Well, first, I'd like to say he's full of it. He's a liar. He is a
What is he
full
lying
liar.
about?
He lied about the relationship, about me coming to his home.
You ever been intimate with him?
No.
Many a times.
No.
He says many a
No.
times, you say never.
I'm saying never. He can't even so how would
said-
I be?
That's just,
So
How you know that?
if we wasn't intimate, how she know that? Yes.
We would have been, but he couldn't do
How
nothing,
did
so
you
that
know?
was
You
it.
had to try.
Exactly.
No, I
Thank
didn't
you,
have
Honor.
to try. We
Thank
could
you.
sit next to each other and I could play with you. And if you can't
That's not
do
true.
nothing, if I'm playing with you, then you got a problem.
It's not true, Your Honor.
You want to tell it? Let's
Stella-
tell the truth about it.
Stella
That's
just got
the
her
truth
groove
about
back.
it.
She just used me.
Don't get me
She
started.
just used me to get her old self back into the game. She's a married woman. She's been without a man for a long time, so here I come, a young man, single, got my own house. She wanted a relationship. After she used me for my body, she done. She done.
Let's move on to what you're suing about.
Our class reunion was in October the 5th and 6th. His birthday is on October the 6th. He said, oh, I'd like to go. I said, okay. So I'll make the arrangements. I made all the arrangements around his work schedule. I don't work at all. I'm retired. So I can go there. I have family there. I can stay as long as I want, which I had planned to do originally. But he was like, no, go back with me. Come back with me. I want you to sit next to me on the plane. I said, okay. So that was in July because I always plan everything. I said, just pay me back by the time the statement comes out in a month. In August, I had to meet a certain deadline for our class reunion. I said, are you sure you're going to go? He's like, yeah, I'm excited. You know, never been to Vegas. I want to be able to go. So I went ahead and paid for him at the reunion. When September came and he had that problem where he's sitting back saying, I ain't never had this problem before. I talked to the doctor. I don't know what's going on. I ain't never been able to do this before. And when I went to Walmart and he asked me, and I said, oh, I got you some Viagra. When I called him back, he says, I'm not going to the reunion and I'm not going with you. So you take your money and you. And so I had broke it down. I said, you know what? This was an error on both of our parts. I said, so why don't you pay me half and I'll lose half? That's being fair about the whole situation. I didn't have to worry about nothing. He said, you and your money. I told him, we can't be friends then.
Sir?
Your Honor, my birthday was October the 6th. By her showing me around to her friends and family and everything, showing me off like I'm some prize trophy or anything like that, she said, well, what I'll do is I'll pay your way on the plane if you escort me to my class reunion. I'll treat you for your birthday, you know, for the plane. I was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado for years. We guys used to go to Vegas about once every 3 or 4 months. So I've been to Vegas many a time.
Did you say anything about?
No, I never told
What
him
did you
nothing
give
of
him
that
for his
sort.
birthday?
I had no
What did
plans.
you give him for his birthday?
I gave him
that
a
was
happy
it.
birthday for his birthday.
Okay, you didn't give him a gift? That's your point?
no.
Okay, go ahead,
I
sir.
don't
was it.
gift people.
Okay.
She was showering me with candles, all kind of gifts, towels and everything from my home. She does give
Never
gifts.
did any of that, man?
Yes, I did.
So
You just said you don't give gifts, man.
I didn't consider those really gifts. I mean, if you want to look at it, he asked for it. We had it. It was spared.
Did he reimburse you,
have it.
ma'am? Otherwise, they were gifts.
Okay, they were gifts because he didn't reimburse me for
All
nothing.
right, man.
the hotel that we were supposed to stay on, you can see she's not
Anybody
suing
have
for
any
that.
evidence of any exchanges, perhaps, conversation exchanges?
I do.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to make the
I have
decision based
evidence
on the
right here.
testimony of the parties, and right now he's more reliable. His
Where he's
testimony.
saying that he never once said
After
he
being
wasn't gonna
cursed
pay.
out and swindled out, I am not ready to be in your presence. Trust is a valuable characteristic that is lacking here. I need my money. I don't hate you, just cutting my losses. I never once said I wasn't going to give you
That's him.
your money.
Wow.
Your Honor, I drive a truck. And if you read a lot more of them text messages, in the state of Georgia, they have very strict.
All I need you to do is explain what you meant by that.
Okay, the voice text sometimes come out and say words that you don't say. If anybody
Hold
ever.
on. Read that and tell me which word you didn't mean to say.
I know one said I wasn't gonna give you your. But if you keep reading down, it says that we never even talked about money or anything.
Right,
We
but
never
you
talked
agreed to
about
give her
money.
something. I saw that. All I need to do is see where you agreed to give her some money. When you sat here and denied all along, you never did. Judgment for the plaintiff, as I read in your evidence, he did agree despite his denial. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm just gonna say, I know when he gets off of work, so I don't have to walk down the street during that time. I don't want to ever see you again in life.
That's fine with me. All I need to just let you know is you're a married woman. You need to go outside your marriage and quit messing with single men. You're married.
You're a liar.
You're married.
And you're a liar.